Okay, we've done announcements, so let's go to citizens' comments, Sharon.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I would like to address the new development ordinances.
State your name and
Poppy
address.
Hayden, 4838 FM 2001,
Thank you.
Lockhart, Texas. I'd like to address agenda items 2014, 0825, 08, 09, and 10. My comments would take too long than the time allotted here, so I'd like to suggest that perhaps this could be tabled and a stakeholders group get together to discuss these items. They do have some long-ranging implications in our county for developers, and there's some environmental implications too that probably should be discussed. So that's my suggestion.
Thank you, sir. Who's next?
Judge, we had the privilege of speaking to the agenda item, if the agenda item comes up, or do we have to speak now?
Let's do it this morning.
Do it now?
Yes.
Good morning, Court. Caldwell County has a large problem we all know about, and that's the tax base. We've got approximately 80% of this county under ag. And I would suggest that probably half of that is not legitimate ag. The people that manage to hold on to an ag appraisal and cut their taxes down. We've got an old county. We've got a lot of people 65 and older that their taxes are frozen. So what we're shifting, an increasingly large burden on the young taxpayers in this county. This county desperately needs to build a tax base. I would suggest that we've got ordinances on the books now that are not being enforced. We've got illegal junkyards. We've got illegal septic systems. We've got illegal trailer parks that are nothing being done about. We're not enforcing the ordinances we have. Yet we come up with another comprehensive proposal, and the most onerous is the 25-foot setback on 100-year floodplain. Has anybody calculated how much acreage that takes? Has anybody discussed with any of the local developers and builders how that's going to affect any of their plans? This is something onerous that's going to go a long way towards further inhibiting the already inhibited growth in Caldwell County. And I would please urge the court to consider tabling this, look at it another, to get some citizens involved, get some citizen input on this thing before we jump out there and consider an ordinance. I would suggest you have no idea the impact it's going to have on future growth of Caldwell County. Thank you.
Who's next?
Brent Ryan.
Good morning. My name is Brent Ryan. I represent Green Group Holdings and 130 Environmental Park, LLC. I have civil engineering and law degrees from UT, and I've been practicing environmental law in Texas for over 35 years. I can say that I've never seen anyone more committed than Green Group Holdings to managing and disposing of solid waste in a manner that protects the environment and minimizes impacts to surrounding properties. And that can certainly be done. All you have to do is look at the Texas Disposal Systems landfill in Creedmoor. 130 Environmental Park will be a very similar facility, but it will be set back even farther from the highway, and it will include even more features for environmental protection. Today, Commissioner Rowland brings you yet another ill-conceived attempt to derail the 130 Environmental Park project, a set of drastic, unnecessary, and illegal revisions to your development ordinance. Commissioner Rowland needs your help. He needs you to turn down this proposal so he can stop being a pawn in a scheme to protect the interests of a handful of people by taking actions that are illegal, are not in the county's best interests, and that will result in the county spending tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, in litigation that it will lose. I was at a recent Cape Cod committee meeting where Commissioner Rowland actually begged the committee to vote against the 130 Environmental Park project, even though the project is very clearly consistent with the regional solid waste plan. The committee voted overwhelmingly in favor of the project, but the sight of Commissioner Rowland begging the committee was one of the most unseemly and pathetic things I have ever seen at a public meeting. Commissioner Rowland needs your help. Someone else who was at that meeting and saw Commissioner Rowland begging was Bob Gregory, the principal owner of the landfill in Creedmoor. I'm sure you can understand that they would probably like to continue on as the only landfill in the southern part of central Texas. You all know that Commissioner Rowland and Marisa Perales, an Austin lawyer, attended a private meeting on May the 7th to come up with changes to the Caldwell County Development Ordinance intended to stop the 130 Environmental Park project. Commissioner Rowland then tried to get you to adopt those changes at a special meeting, changes that are very clearly anti-development and that would significantly affect private property rights throughout the county. To my knowledge, Ms. Perales' law practice consists solely of representing opponents to development projects. Dennis Hobbs, an employee of Texas Disposal Systems, recently said that Ms. Perales, quote, works for us, end quote. I know you're asking yourselves why Commissioner Rowland is doing this, especially because a preliminary plat has already been filed and the revisions wouldn't even apply to the 130 Environmental Park project. Is it because he's concerned about the potential impacts of the project? Not likely, because Commissioner Rowland knows the facts. Excellent geology, the lack of groundwater, excess stormwater capacity, large buffer zones, and less than 3% of the traffic on Highway 183. Is it because several of his constituents are opposed to the project? You've known him for a long time. Does he get this excited based on calls from a few constituents? It appears to me that Commissioner Rowland has been encouraged, influenced, pressured, and/or intimidated into trying to get you to take various actions in opposition to the 130 Environmental Park project. But I don't know all the details, at least not yet. But if the county does take such actions, Commissioner Rowland will be required to testify under oath in a deposition. Commissioner Rowland needs your help. Until you say no and make it clear that you're not going to jeopardize the financial well-being and future economic growth of Caldwell County by engaging in poorly thought-out illegal actions, Commissioner Rowland will keep coming back with more. It's time to let him go tell whoever needs to know that he tried, but the Commissioner's Court just will not go along. Otherwise, you and Caldwell County will be sued, and you and Caldwell County will lose. Thank you. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's not a threat, but I just thought that...
Commissioner, we're not supposed to engage. Well, we're not supposed to have questions of the speakers.
Thank you.
Who's next? Okay.